Growing perennials from seed in December, a game changer for your garden. Your garden doesn't die in December. It actually transforms into a secret powerhouse. While most gardeners think the growing season is completely over, you're about to discover something that professional gardeners have known for decades. Sowing certain perennial seeds in December creates plants that are stronger, taller, and bloom earlier than anything you could plant in spring. If you want a garden that looks mature and established by next summer, this technique is going to change everything for you. I'm William Scott from Golden Age Gardening, and in this guide, we're going to walk through the 10 most reliable perennials that absolutely thrive when you plant their seeds in December. These aren't rare plants. They're the workhorse perennials that every great garden depends on. And the method? It's so simple that once you understand it, you'll wonder why you ever waited until spring to plant anything. Before we dive into each plant, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to Golden Age Gardening and hit that notification bell. We release new gardening strategies every week that help you create a garden that works for you instead of against you. And if this approach resonates with you, drop a like on this video. It helps us reach more gardeners who are ready to think differently about their planting schedule. Why December planting works? Let's start with the science behind this technique because it matters. Many perennials come from climates where they drop their seeds naturally in the fall and early winter. Those seeds sit in the cold, wet soil through the entire winter season. Slowly, the combination of moisture and freezing temperatures breaks down the seed's protective coating, a process called stratification. The seed basically becomes primed and ready to wake up the second the soil warms in spring. When you sow these seeds indoors in March, you miss out on this natural preparation period. Your spring-sown seeds have to work harder to germinate. You often need special cold treatments, and even then, you get slower, less reliable results. But when you sow in December, you hand the entire process over to nature at the perfect time. You're working with the plant's natural cycle instead of against it. The seeds settle into the garden soil. Winter does what it's designed to do for multiple months. Then come March and April, when that soil starts warming up, your seedlings emerge ready and energized. They have deeper roots, stronger stems, and they establish faster than their spring-planted cousins. This isn't a shortcut, it's actually the long way that turns out to be the shortest way. These seedlings are tougher. They've already survived the entire winter season. They establish in the border with remarkable confidence, sometimes even flowering in their first year.
Perennial seed number 1, Foxglove. Let's start with Foxglove, a plant that creates real structure in any border. This perennial builds sturdy, upright shapes with flowers clustered tightly along tall spikes. Each spike is absolutely loaded with tubular blooms that bees and hummingbirds find irresistible. The whole plant has a light, elegant quality. It brings height without ever looking crowded or overwhelming. Even when you're growing foxglove from seed for the first time, it develops with visible confidence in its first year, making it a fantastic option if you're establishing a new garden space. December planting is exactly when foxglove wants to be sown. This perennial naturally depends on extended cold exposure to prepare its seeds. The deep chill of midwinter and continuing through late winter works on the seed coat, softening it and triggering the germination readiness inside. When you plant in December, instead of waiting for spring, you allow the cold period to happen right where the seeds need it, in your garden soil, for the longest possible duration. The result? Stronger seedlings that pop up in spring with deeper roots and better vigor compared to seeds started indoors or planted in warmer months. This head start means foxglove moves faster through its first season and establishes with remarkable speed. In terms of what foxglove needs to thrive, it loves full sun and loose, well-draining soil. It doesn't demand much water once it gets going, and its stems grow upright and strong without needing support or staking. This is a plant that asks for very little maintenance. A bit of deadheading here and there, maybe some division after a few years, and that's it. Foxglove handles itself. The plant is long-lived, drought-tolerant once established, and rarely gives gardeners trouble with pests or diseases. It's exactly the kind of reliable plant that builds confidence in gardeners. For placement in your border design, Foxglove works best in the middle layer, where its vertical spikes can create visual interest above lower-growing plants around it. It pairs beautifully with ornamental grasses, coneflowers, yarrow, and sage. These are plants that respect Foxglove's strong vertical lines while adding their own textural softness to the composition. The combination creates a natural, dynamic look that feels intentional without being fussy. Because you planted in December, your Foxglove seedlings emerge in early spring as strong, independent young plants. They develop robust root systems and fill their assigned space with authority. Your borders gain height and movement right from the beginning of the growing season.
Perennial seed number 2, Daisy Supreme. Daisy Supreme is the classic perennial that brings brightness and a cheerful attitude to any planting scheme. You recognize it instantly. Clean white petals with a sunny yellow center arranged in neat upright clusters. This plant creates tidy mounds that fit into both modern minimalist gardens and romantic cottage-style borders. The personality is sunny and straightforward. Even when grown from seed, Daisy Supreme develops into a well-shaped, compact plant within its first year. It matures fast and earns its place as a reliable season-long bloomer that you can depend on. Daisy Supreme is outstanding for December sowing. The seeds respond strongly to extended natural cold exposure. When the deep winter temperatures arrive in December and persist from January and February, the cold actively helps prepare the seeds for germination. Planting now means the seeds settle into consistent moisture while temperatures stay low throughout the season. By the time the soil warms in spring, Daisy Supreme seedlings emerge vigorous and ready to establish themselves quickly. Seeds planted this way often outperform seeds started in spring because they've already completed the extended stratification phase naturally. This perennial thrives under straightforward conditions. Full sun and well-draining soil create the best environment. It appreciates moderate watering and needs good air movement around the foliage to stay healthy. Once established, Daisy Supreme becomes surprisingly tough about drought. It holds its shape and rarely flops or falls over in the wind. This is a very low-maintenance perennial. Besides occasional deadheading to keep flowers coming and dividing every few years to maintain vigor, it doesn't demand much. The plant's behavior is predictable and steady. It's an excellent choice for any gardener who wants reliable, long-term blooms without constantly fussing over the plant. In border design, Daisy Supreme fits perfectly into the mid to front-middle area of a planting scheme. Place it where its bright white blooms can catch light and serve as a focal point. It pairs naturally with coneflowers, yarrow, catmint, and ornamental grasses. These are companion plants that share a similar energy and bloom timing, creating a cohesive, well-orchestrated display. Because of December sowing, Daisy Supreme typically builds stronger roots and more substantial clumps by its first bloom year. Your borders gain structure, brightness, and a clean, energizing feeling right as the growing season begins.
Perennial seed number 3, Orange Fire Asclepias. Orange Fire Asclepias is a bright, hardy perennial that commands attention through sheer presence. This plant creates upright mounds of narrow foliage with clusters of glowing flowers that practically glow against the sky. The bloom color is vivid orange, unmissable. Early and midsummer is when this plant really shines. It's a magnet for monarchs, swallowtails, and native bees. The garden suddenly has movement and life everywhere you look. Even grown from seed, Orange Fire Asclepias develops into a sturdy, architectural plant that adds genuine color and structure without ever looking chaotic or out of place. This perennial is especially well matched for December sowing. Orange Fire Asclepias naturally requires an extended cold period to germinate reliably. The seeds contain built-in dormancy that breaks down specifically when exposed to deep winter's chill through multiple months. By sowing in December, you're letting nature handle the extended cold stratification process for you. Spring germination becomes stronger and more reliable, and the resulting seedlings are tougher and better able to handle the transition into the garden. December sowing also mirrors the plant's wild cycle perfectly. In nature, seeds fall to the ground in late fall and early winter and wait underground through the entire cold season until warmth returns to trigger sprouting. This perennial loves full sun and actually prefers dry, well-draining soil. Once established, it barely needs water. It's remarkably low maintenance and thrives in lean soil conditions. Most perennials like some fertility, but orange fire Asclepias actually performs better without it. The plant develops a deep taproot that anchors it firmly into place, which is why this species doesn't transplant well. This makes December sowing directly where it will grow the best. Once settled in, orange fire Asclepias grows steadily with each passing season, asking for minimal watering and suffering almost zero pest or disease problems. In garden placement, orange fire Asclepias works best in the mid-front section of a border, where its intense color serves as a warm focal point that draws the eye. It pairs beautifully with coneflowers, black-eyed Susan, yarrow, and ornamental grasses. These plants all share orange fire Asclepias' love of sun and dry soil, creating a harmonious, naturally integrated look in the border. Because of December sowing, orange fire Asclepias emerges early with strong roots and reliable architectural structure. Your borders gain distinct patches of bold color that look intentional, vibrant, and naturally embedded into the landscape.
Perennial seed number 4, Columbine Grace. Columbine Grace is a charming perennial known for its delicate nodding flowers and soft, airy presence throughout the garden. This plant brings a gentle woodland quality that feels romantic and natural. The foliage is beautifully scalloped and the flowers have uniquely shaped blooms in shades of blue, pink, purple, and white. Even grown from seed, Columbine Grace forms elegant mounds that look natural and effortless. It fits beautifully into cottage-style borders and works especially well in shaded edges of larger gardens. Columbine Grace is a perfect match for December sowing. The seeds benefit significantly from extended cold, moist stratification throughout the winter months. In wild conditions, Columbine Grace drops its seeds in fall and early winter and lets deep winter's chill prepare them for spring sprouting. When you sow in December, you're mimicking this exact natural cycle. You're breaking down dormancy and encouraging more uniform, reliable germination. The seeds settle quietly through the long winter months. As temperatures gradually warm in spring, they emerge as sturdy seedlings ready to establish themselves quickly and confidently. This perennial thrives in part shade to full sun, though it prefers moist, well-draining soil for best results. It's remarkably adaptable and handles lean or rocky soil with grace. Columbine Grace grows best with consistent moisture during its first year, but once established, it becomes fairly drought-tolerant. The plant's behavior is gentle and refined. It grows, blooms, then quietly self-seeds, filling the garden with new plants that maintain the border's natural flow and softness without requiring intervention. For placement, Columbine Grace works beautifully in the mid-front layer of a border or in lightly shaded areas where its blooms can practically glow. Pair it with ferns, brunera, catmint, or other woodland-style perennials to create a soft, cohesive color palette that feels like nature designed it. With December sowing, Columbine Grace seedlings emerge early and settle naturally into the garden. Your borders gain a graceful, romantic quality that looks effortless and perfectly suited for the coming spring.
Perennial seed number 5, Yarrow Wave. Yarrow Wave is a tough, long-blooming perennial that contributes soft texture and steady color throughout the growing season. This plant forms feathery aromatic foliage topped with flat flower clusters in shades of yellow, pink, red, white, and peach. Even grown from seed, it develops quickly into a full bushy clump that adds meadow-like softness to any border scheme. The flowers last for weeks on end, and the plant maintains its shape beautifully even through summer heat. Yarrow Wave is an excellent match for December sowing. The seeds naturally respond well to extended cold stratification. These small, fine seeds germinate more reliably after being exposed to cool, moist winter conditions throughout the entire season. When you sow in December, the seeds settle into the soil as temperatures drop and stay cold for an extended period, creating the perfect environment to break dormancy naturally and thoroughly. By spring, they wake up quickly and produce stronger, more resilient seedlings compared to spring-sown
alternatives. For growing conditions, Yarrow Wave thrives in full sun and well-drained soil, especially spots that tend to stay dry. It's one of the most drought-tolerant perennials available, needing almost no care once established. Yarrow Wave actually prefers lean soil. Too much fertility can make it floppy and weak. This makes it naturally suited to low-maintenance gardens where you want reliable results without constant attention. The plant's behavior is steady and dependable. Dense foliage emerges early in the season, followed by long-lasting flower heads that don't require much deadheading. For placement, Yarrow Wave fits beautifully into the mid or mid-front layer of a border, where its soft texture balances bolder plants around it. It pairs well with coneflowers, Gaillardia, salvias, grasses, and black-eyed Susan. These are companions that share Yarrow Wave's love of sun and dry soil conditions. Thanks to December sowing, Yarrow Wave emerges early and settles quickly. Your border gains structure, color, and natural softness right from the start of the growing season.
Perennial seed number 6, Delphinium Dreams. Delphinium Dreams is a tall, elegant perennial known for its dramatic spires of blue, purple, white, and pastel blooms. These plants bring a sense of real height and classic garden charm, instantly giving borders a more structured, layered feel. Even when grown from seed, they develop into upright plants with dense flower spikes that make an undeniable statement in early summer. Their presence is both bold and graceful, making Delphinium Dreams a favorite in cottage gardens and romantic planting schemes. Delphinium Dream seeds are especially well-suited for December sowing. They rely heavily on extended cold to improve germination rates. The seeds have natural dormancy that breaks down specifically during deep winter's chill over several months, and sowing them now mimics the conditions they expect in nature. Cold season sowing, particularly December sowing, often produces stronger, more vigorous seedlings that establish better than spring-planted counterparts. By letting the seeds rest through the entire winter season, they emerge at exactly the right moment in early spring, ready to grow steadily and confidently. In the garden, Delphinium Dreams prefers full sun to light afternoon shade and rich, well-draining soil. These plants appreciate consistent moisture, especially during active growth periods. They benefit from mulching to keep their roots cool during hot weather. While young plants may need staking in windy locations, their behavior becomes more predictable as clumps mature and strengthen. With good soil and regular care, Delphinium Dreams reward gardeners with tall, vibrant blooms that return every year with increasing strength and vigor. For placement, Delphinium Dreams shine at the back or mid-back layer of a border where their height can frame surrounding plants beautifully. They pair beautifully with roses, foxgloves, lady's mantle, salvias, and low-growing ground covers that soften the visual base of their tall spires. Thanks to December sowing, Delphinium Dream seedlings often establish earlier and more robustly, giving your border a refined vertical accent that feels both structured and deeply romantic.
Perennial seed number 7, Coneflower Brilliance. Coneflower Brilliance is a reliable, long-blooming perennial that brings bold color and a strong sense of structure to any garden space. These plants form sturdy, upright clumps topped with daisy-like blooms in shades of purple, pink, white, and even sunset tones. The flowers stand tall through heat, wind, and summer storms, making them a favorite for low-maintenance borders. Even from seed, Coneflower Brilliance grows into robust plants that quickly look established and mature in the garden. Coneflower Brilliance is especially well-suited for December sowing because the seeds benefit significantly from extended natural cold exposure. In the wild, Coneflower Brilliance drops its seeds in fall and early winter, and winter's deep chill helps break dormancy and prepare them for spring sprouting. Sowing in December mimics this natural cycle perfectly over the long winter months. The cold-moist stratification improves germination rates and leads to stronger seedlings with deeper root systems, giving the plants a genuine head start as soon as temperatures warm in spring. For growing conditions, Coneflower Brilliance thrives in full sun and well-draining soil, handling heat and drought exceptionally well once established. It's a tough, easy-care perennial that rarely struggles with pests or diseases. The plants grow into dense clumps that stay upright without staking and reward gardeners with months of continuous blooms. The behavior is steady and predictable. Strong growth happens in spring, bold flowering defines summer, and attractive seed heads bring winter interest. In the border, Coneflower Brilliance works beautifully in the mid-layer where its blooms can stand above softer plants without overwhelming them. It pairs well with grasses, black-eyed Susan, Yarrow, Catman, and Gaillardia, all companions that echo its sturdy, sun-loving nature. Thanks to December sowing, Coneflower Brilliance seedlings typically emerge early and settle quickly. Your garden gains vibrant color and reliable structure from the very start of the season.
Perennial seed number 8, Gaillardia Sunset. Gaillardia Sunset is a sun-loving perennial known for its warm, glowing colors and long, steady bloom season. Often called the blanket flower, Gaillardia Sunset forms tidy mounds of foliage topped with red, orange, and yellow blooms that look like little sunbursts scattered across the border. Even in its first year from seed, it grows confidently, adding cheerful energy and a relaxed meadow-style feel to any planting scheme. Gaillardia Sunset is an excellent choice for December sowing. The seeds respond strongly to extended natural cold stratification. The deep cold conditions of December through February help break down seed dormancy thoroughly, preparing them for quick germination once spring warmth arrives. Sowing in December also allows the seeds to settle through the entire winter season without any fuss or special treatment. By early spring, they wake up as compact, vigorous seedlings. Compared to spring sowing, winter-sown Gaillardia Sunset typically establishes earlier and blooms sooner in the first year. In terms of growing conditions, Gaillardia Sunset thrives in full sun and prefers dry, well-drained soil. It performs best in lean soil and is extremely drought-tolerant, making it a great low-maintenance option for busy gardeners. The plants stay compact, rarely flop, and continue blooming even through heat and poor soil conditions. Once established, Gaillardia Sunset requires very little care, just occasional deadheading to keep flowers coming consistently. For placement, Gaillardia Sunset works beautifully in the mid-front layer of a border where its warm tones can brighten the entire planting scheme. It pairs well with coneflowers, black-eyed Susan, catmint, and ornamental grasses, all companions that thrive in sunny, dry spots. Thanks to December sowing, Gaillardia Sunset seedlings emerge early and settle quickly. Your garden gains a long season of color and a soft, natural rhythm right from the start.
Perennial seed number 9, Black-Eyed Wonder. Black-Eyed Wonder is a bright, dependable perennial that brings strong color and a welcoming sunny feel to every garden. This plant forms upright clumps with cheerful yellow bold petals surrounding dark centers, creating a bold contrast that stands out from summer into early fall. Even when grown from seed, the plants mature quickly, giving the border a lively, energetic look that feels instantly established and mature. Black-Eyed Wonder is particularly well suited for December sowing. The seeds benefit significantly from extended natural cold exposure. In nature, Black-Eyed Wonder drops seed in fall and early winter, and the deep winter chill helps break dormancy and prepare it for spring sprouting. By sowing in December, you allow winter moisture and consistent low temperatures to work on the seeds through the entire season, resulting in stronger, more uniform germination. Winter-sown Black-Eyed Wonder often produces sturdier seedlings that settle into the garden with confidence once warmth returns. This perennial thrives in full sun and well-drained soil. Once established, it's remarkably drought-tolerant and handles difficult conditions with ease. It grows into dense, upright clumps that hold their shape without much attention, making it a great choice for low-maintenance gardens. Black-Eyed Wonder resists pests, tolerates intense heat, and blooms heavily throughout summer. The behavior is reliable and steady. Consistent growth early in the season leads to bold flowering in midsummer, followed by attractive seed heads that persist into fall and winter, extending the garden's visual interest. For placement, Black-Eyed Wonder fits beautifully in the mid-layer of a border, where its golden blooms can catch light and add warmth. It pairs naturally with coneflowers, grasses, yarrow, Gaillardia, and Russian sage, all companions that echo its sunny, resilient personality. With December sowing, Black-Eyed Wonder seedlings often emerge earlier and root deeper, giving your border bright color, strong structure, and consistent late-season impact that lasts and lasts.
Perennial seed number 10, Lupine Legacy. Lupine Legacy rounds out our list as a striking perennial known for its tall, architectural flower spikes and beautifully textured foliage. These plants bring a vertical lift that instantly adds sophistication to any border, and their palmate leaves give the garden a soft, sculptural touch even before the blooms appear. From pastel pinks and purples to bold blues and bicolors, Lupine Legacy flowers create a dramatic, cottage-style look that feels both wild and genuinely elegant. Lupine Legacy is an excellent candidate for December sowing. The seeds germinate far better after an extended period of cold exposure. The deep chill of winter helps soften the hard seed coat and breaks dormancy over the long season, allowing the seeds to take up moisture and sprout more uniformly in spring. December sowing Lupine Legacy often produces stronger seedlings and flowers earlier compared to spring-sown seeds. For growing conditions, Lupine Legacy prefers full sun to light shade and thrives in cool climates with moist, well-drained soil.
It appreciates soil that isn't overly rich. Excessive fertility can lead to floppy, weak growth. Lupine legacy grows quickly in spring, forming lush mounds of foliage, followed by tall, colorful flower spikes in late spring and early summer. With consistent moisture and good drainage, the plants are reliably long-lived and remain visually striking throughout the season. In the garden, Lupine legacy belongs in the mid-back layer of a border, where its height can anchor surrounding plants effectively. It pairs beautifully with foxgloves, delphiniums, columbines, salvias, and arid grasses that soften its strong vertical lines. Thanks to December sowing, Lupine legacy seedlings emerge early and establish deeply. Your garden gains early season structure, beautiful texture, and a dramatic display of blooms when spring turns into summer.
Why this method works every time. December sowing is one of the easiest ways to grow resilient perennials, with almost no special effort or complicated techniques. After months of natural cold exposure and moisture through the entire winter season, these seeds wake up right on schedule in spring, ready to grow into sturdy young plants that settle quickly into the garden. If you're planning ahead for next year, any of these 10 perennials will reward you with stronger growth and earlier color. You're essentially letting nature do the heavy lifting while you enjoy the results. The beauty of this approach is its simplicity combined with its reliability. You're not fighting against the plant's natural cycle, you're working with it. Every perennial on this list has evolved in climates where winter cold is an essential part of the seed's preparation process. By respecting that biology and providing the full winter season for natural stratification, you get better results with less intervention. Final thoughts. This is William Scott from Golden Age Gardening. If you found this information valuable, I'd genuinely appreciate it if you'd subscribe to our channel so you don't miss future episodes on growing techniques that actually work. Share this video with any gardener friends who need to hear this message. Drop a comment below and let us know which of these 10 perennials you're most excited to plant this December. Your experience and questions help us create better content for everyone. The garden you're about to create through December sowing will astound you come spring and summer. You're about to discover that December isn't the end of the gardening season. It's actually where the best gardens begin. I'll see you in the next Golden Age gardening video.